welcome to Special Stage and to round 3 of the Britpart all-wheel drive Safari Championship. Now we're here in sunny Minehead and the conditions are quite different to what the teams have been used to so far this year. We've got open grassland and twisty, muddy forest tracks. So let's head over to the stages now for all of the action. So Championship leader Chris Bird leads the crews away, followed by Andy DiGiulio, who hasn't had the best of starts to the season so far. And with 9 of the top 10 championship contenders here, it was going to be a good fight for some points here in Minehead. On to the first couple of runs, and there would be little surprise to see Chris Bird's name at the top of the results. What would be a surprise would be the advantage, 42 seconds of a lead after just 2 runs. One of the main reasons for that lead would be the very early loss of Andy DiGiulio. Luck hadn't been on his side this season, and round 3 was no different. Getting caught out on a slippery downhill section and hitting a rut hidden in the grass from last year's event. The result, a damaged car and of course a very damaged championship. Andy, things aren't really going your way this season, are they?
Nah. No, because, got no words for it really. Yeah, gutted probably is the best one. But yeah, that's motor racing. What can you do?
And I know you've made an executive decision not to go back out today, but you have got some plans coming up in the next couple of weeks, which are quite exciting.
Yeah, well, myself and Chris, we've been invited to the Festival of Speed at Goodwood. So, yeah, that isn't the main reason I've stopped. We've got where we've gone over, it's pushed all the rad into the fans and it's all touching the shocks. So I'll do more damage than good if I carry on. So, yeah, I've got a couple of weeks to get the thing rebuilt, put back together for 4 days at Goodwood.
But you'll be back out and fighting for the next round of the Safari Challenge?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll tell you, I've got mixed emotions at the moment. We had a tough 3 events, but yeah, no, down but not out. I mean, I don't think, again, definitely can't win it, but we'll come back and push Chris along. Got the Hill Rally to look forward to, which I think you're covering, so that'll be good. Perhaps we can salvage the season by perhaps having a good result there, but yeah, we'll see.
So with the early drama, it was left to Justin Brooks to take second place. As we mentioned before, the gap was over 40 seconds to the lead, but given the lack of time in the car and the difference in the performance, it was going well. A great start for James and Philippa Tennant. Their times on the opening runs put them in 3rd, the course really suiting the car and allowing them some highly competitive times, just 19 seconds behind Brooks at this stage. Bruce Tigwell comes into round 3, 3rd in the championship standings, after some good performances in the opening rounds, and this weekend was starting in much the same way. 4th place for now and 3rd in the 8i class. And for Tim Tennant, it will be a further 30 seconds back to their class and overall rivals ahead. 5th place for now and looking to add to the good results from last time out and move up the championship standings. Rob Bull was having a good season in both the class and overall. 6th place here today and leading the way in class 8. Just 7 seconds behind Tennant ahead. The start here at round 3 reflected the season so far for Tom Rimmel. 7th place to start the day, and of course leading the way in the 7i class, and just 9 seconds back from Bull. For Jason Elphick, it would be 2nd in that class and 8th overall. The times were getting better on the 2nd run, and looked promising for a move up the results over the rest of the day's racing. And Martin James rounds out the top of that class with 3rd in the 7i class. Lying in 9th overall, again only 8 seconds between him and Elphick ahead. And rounding out the top 10 at this stage was Jason Nicol. No real drama, but the class lead was eluding him at the moment to 6th place Rob Ball. He would need to find around half a minute from somewhere in the remaining runs. In the classes outside the top 10, it would be 11th overall for Steve Llewellyn, leading the way in class 4 with a comfortable margin. Andy Kent rounds out the top of Class 8, but the gap to second place Jason Nicol was around 2 minutes, lying in 12th overall at this stage. Lee Potter ends run 2 with an unlucky 13th overall, but luckily for the class result, it was easy going, being the only ones in Class 7, so it was looking like a battle against the stages. And it was just a further 20 seconds back to Richard Mitchell, 14th overall and second in Class 4, a few minutes behind the class leader though. And rounding off the results in 15th place was James Dennis, just sitting outside the top of Class 8, just 30 seconds back from Mitchell ahead. Sadly, as well as De Giulio, we would also lose a few more people this morning. The first of which being Rod Parker, managing a clean first run, only to go out on run 2. And we would lose Oliver Arnold, who doesn't manage a full clean run this morning. So at the end of run 2, the results look like this. You've had a pretty good start to the day. How are you finding it?
It's real tight and technical. The weather's lovely, which is pleasant, and it's just real tight and technical, and it's a shame with Andy, that's the other thing.
How does it differ being here to what it's like for some of the other rounds in Wales?
Like, we've just come from the hill rally, and the hill rally was so fast, and it's just getting your head back round how slow this is. This is all second, third, fourth gear stuff at best, and it's just recalibrating your brain to how slow it is, because you think the first lap, oh, you're really, really slow, but you know, we're all right at the moment, but it is strange to go from such a quick event to this, being dodging the trees.
I'm just loving the fact that you're saying how slow you're going. It definitely doesn't look slow.
It doesn't feel slow in the car, but it doesn't now because your brain's recalibrated, but it does, after being such a high-speed event on the hill rally, and Ebervale was very quick, and Walters, to come here then and be dodging the trees in second gear, then it is, you need to reprogram your brain a little.
How's it been going out there for you this morning?
Very well, very well. I think we're lying second, about a minute now down on Chris, but he's got a few more horsepower than what we have up the big long straight. So, no, we're pleased. Still a lot of development with the new vehicle, so just taking it each event as a development phase, really, a bit more on the suspension.
How are you enjoying it? Because it is new, as you say.
Yeah, no, it's very good. And my background is more stage rallying, really, and this is a bit more affordable at my level, to be honest, and it's very good fun. It's it's good value for money. It's the people are all friendly. It's good. I'm really enjoying it.
How has it been for you out there?
It's very good. Yeah, a bit rough in places, but very good course. Brendan's done a cracking job of setting it out.
I heard it's quite tight and twisty in some places. Is that difficult for you?
No, it's not too bad. You've just got to drive the course. Just drive it as you see it. There's plenty of trees out there, but they're not on the track, so you just got to avoid them.
How has it been for you this morning?
Yeah, first one was okay. We lost it on the corner. It was a bit wet and we nearly took the fencing out. And it's just getting very rough already. Only 3 runs and it's really, really rough. We've tried a new suspension setup that isn't working, so it's not doing too well.
So what is the plan for this afternoon?
Just take it steady. We usually get a second class place, so we'll just take it steady and try and get round and see how it goes.
Keep it in one piece then?
Yeah, that's it.
On to the next couple of runs, and there wouldn't be any change to the lead. Chris Bird continues to stay ahead of the chasing pack and hold on to the number 1 spot for now. The advantage down to just 23 seconds though. No change in second, it would still be Justin Brooks chasing down Bird. Things had got a little closer, but it was still a lot to ask in the next few runs. Bruce Tigwell makes a move the right way up the results to third now, and with a good advantage in that place. Second in the 8i class behind the leader. The reason for that change would be the loss of James and Philippa Tennant. They crash out and break the steering on run 3, and after repairing it, go out and break the other side. Enough of a sign they should give up before it goes very wrong. As the earlier time suggested, it would be a move up to 4th place overall for Jason Elphick, a move up a few places and into the 7i class lead. No change for Tim Tennant, remaining in 5th place. No change while others around were moving. The times were looking consistent and he was only 8 seconds behind Elphick at this stage. There wouldn't be any change for Class 8 leader Rob Ball. The times were getting quicker run by run, but only by a few seconds. It would be enough to keep the class lead, but not an advantage at the overall results. Martin James gains a couple of places in these runs, moving up to take 7th place now, and also moving into 2nd place of the 7i class. The reason for this would be the move down to 3rd in the class for Tom Rimmel. The times were just a little too slow to keep hold of the earlier class lead, around 20 seconds a run off the pace of James ahead. No change in the class for Jason Nicol, maintaining the 2nd in Class 8 that he started with, but moving up a place overall after the loss of Tennant. For now it will be 9th, and with just 5 seconds to Rimmel in front. And of course a move up the results for many more too, as Steve Llewellyn moves up to round out the top 10 now, and of course still leads the way in Class 4. No change for Andy Kent, still 3rd in Class 8, and looking like he would finish there. No way of advancing on the times, but he would sit and wait to see what happens in the final runs. Lee Potter continues as the only Class 7 runner. The win was his if he could finish, but with the big gap ahead there certainly wasn't more any places to be gained overall. There was still a threat from behind though, with James Dennis 45 seconds back in 13th overall. Not exactly bumper to bumper, but it certainly wasn't over just yet. And the bottom of the results would be the fight for the rest of Class 4. With 10th place Steve Llewellyn in that top spot, it would be Richard Mitchell taking 2nd. And for Tony Rooney, it would be 3rd in the class. A run 1 maximum wasn't helping matters, but at least he was still going. So at the end of run 5, the results change a little and the top of the leaderboard looks like this. I know you were just saying that you've done a bit of damage. What's happened?
I've broken off the rear panhard rod. It snapped the weld away from the chassis, just making the back axle wobble around a bit now. So it might be out of action for the rest of the day now, I think.
Were you having a good day until that point?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was annoying. I think I was top of my class again, and that's the end of that now.
Oh no!
Yeah,
have you been enjoying the circuit and everything?
Yeah, it's been very good. A lot faster than normal. Yeah, it's been made a good job of setting it out and grading it this time. So it's good.
Are you going to try and get it fixed?
I might go over and see if I can borrow someone's welder and have a go. Yeah, see how I get on.
Good luck. We'll let you get on with that.
Okay, thank you.
So we've just got a couple more stages to go. How's your day been?
So far it's been all right. We've had a couple of issues with the starter motor which got a bit lazy, so we had to change that, but it's still in one piece, and down here that's the objective. Keep it in one piece and go home in one piece.
Have you enjoyed the stage?
Yeah, it's been a good stage. A bit tight in the woods, but I mean we've got plenty of torque down low because we're running on diesel, so it's all right for us.
Will you be pushing on for the rest of the day?
Oh yeah, I should be finishing. Well, providing I keep it in one piece, I should finish.
So we're almost at the end of the day. How's it gone for you?
Very well, thank you. New car, so we're learning it at the moment, but yeah, we seem to be getting on all right.
I think I saw you'd caught someone up in one of the stages just a bit earlier.
Yeah, we did, yeah. We just followed him through the finish line, so we're getting more confident and getting faster, so yeah, we're winning.
Are you going to do the full season?
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, this is a shakedown for the car today. Make sure last event was a bit of a disaster at Walters Arena, so we're going to see what the car does this time with new suspension. If it's all good, then we get it home and check it, we'll carry on. Yeah, so in theory, yes.
This weekend would also see the Safari Light Crews out for their second round, and it would be a 4th place finish for Adrian Beer at the end of the day's 6 runs. A run 3 maximum ruining his chances of a better result. For Andy Chapman, it would be 3rd. Consistent times throughout the day helping secure that place. Sadly for Bruce Mallet, it would be second place at the finish. Still a good result of course, but he had held the fastest times over the morning's first couple of stages. So that means it's the Safari Light win this weekend for Lee Newcomb, a good lead of over 90 seconds at the finish of the event. On to the main results then, and that run 1 maximum would unfortunately put Tony Rooney down at the bottom of the results, with 14th overall and 3rd in Class 4. Problems for Rob Bull towards the end of the day mean it's a slip out of the class lead down to 13th overall and 3rd in Class 8. No change for Richard Mitchell, remaining consistent in 12th place and of course remaining in that 2nd place in Class 4. A good weekend for Lee Potter, sees him finish just outside the top 10 in 11th overall and take a win in Class 7. And rounding out the top 10 at the end of the day would be Andy Kent, also taking 2nd in Class 8, with the drop down the results for Rob Bull. Unfortunately for Justin Brooks, a broken wheel in the final run means a slip down from 2nd place to 9th overall. Disappointing, but the pace was there from the start, so that was something to take away from this round. A change in direction for Steve Llewellyn, ending the day with 8th overall, but more importantly, the Class 4 win, the lead of which he held all day. Just a single place gain for Tom Rimmel, stepping up to 7th place overall and maintaining that 3rd place in the 7i class. For Jason Nicol, it would be a good few runs to end the day, that mean he manages to take 6th place overall and the Class 8 win, helped of course with the loss of Rob Bull from the class's lead. Jason Elphick records a great 5th place finish. It would be a little disappointing after being up in 4th, but still a fantastic result here at round 3. But for Martin James, it would be a move up the result and into 4th. A good finish that also sees him taking the 7i class win as well. And it will be a 3rd place finish for Tim Tennant. A good set of points to add to the total so far. Bruce Tigwell has another good run to take 2nd here at round 3, and with it moves up to 2nd in the championship standings. The season was looking good if he could keep up this pace. But for this weekend, and indeed the championship so far, it was Chris Baird that once again was untouchable, taking the win and continuing his lead at the top of the championship standings. Congratulations, Chris. I make that 3 out of 3 for the championship so far this year.
Yeah, it looks that way. We had a bit of a glitch on one of the runs where we think we had a problem with the master switch and it stopped, and we ended up having to get up and push it and get back in it. So we lost 2 minutes on that run, which put us on the back foot. So we put a couple of good times in then on the next run and the run after, and we seem to be doing all right. But I think Justin, he hasn't come in, so I don't know whether the curse of Minehead has caught him out and pulled the wheel off.
I hope not, because we like to give you a little bit of competition.
I hope so as well, because he's driven so well all day in the little Polaris, and like I say, for him to lose it on the last lap would be thoroughly depressing, truthfully.
So are you looking forward to the next few rounds? Do you think you're going to be able to maintain this winning streak?
Yeah, I would have hoped so. Like I say, Andy hasn't had any. The only luck Andy's had this year is bad. So he's got to do some good luck at some point. So and he always goes well at Ilfracombe. So that hopefully he'll be definitely back up and running. But hopefully he'll have a better run at Ilfracombe, and we can have a good old ding dong.
Congratulations, you've had a pretty good day.
Not too bad in the end. We've broken a few suspension joints, but we think we've got our class win. So we'll wait and see now.
That seems to be the way with these events. You don't ever seem to quite manage to go away with a full working car.
No, it's not too bad, but it was getting very, very rough, and there's a stream that opens up. So it was a dry track. It ended up lots of water in the end. So but we had a good day, and we really enjoyed it today.
Any massively scary moments, or has it all been quite calm?
Ooh, no scary. Just we come off into the trees, but it was only small trees at the time. So we were
Just
lucky,
a small tree.
Yeah, got away with it.
Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
Congratulations, you've not had the easiest of days. When we came over earlier, you were all underneath the car.
Yeah, I had a drive shaft go, and lucky enough all my friends came together and helped us get it back out there. So yeah, so otherwise not too bad. A bit slow on the first lap, but kept it together, and it's come all right actually. So.
Have you enjoyed the day as a whole? I know something like that can be really stressful, but apart from that?
Oh yeah, it's been really good. I really enjoyed it here, and this time as well. Brendan's done a great job with the course, and it's a nice flowing course and nice and tight up the top as well in the wood. So a bit of everything really. So I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Just getting a bit rough towards the end, I've heard.
Oh yeah, everywhere where there's people braking zones, it always gets a bit washboardy at the end, but you've got to take that where it comes, So it does get a little bit rougher, yeah.
Will you be at the next round?
I don't think I'll be at the rest round, but hopefully try and get out a bit later on in the season as well. So yeah, that's the plan.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much.
The win this weekend means that it's 3 from 3 for Bird. His place at the top of the championship looking good, but there will be some close battles going on around the rest of the ever-changing places. So that's it from us here at Minehead, and Chris Bird takes the win once again, making it 3 out of 3, whilst Andy DeGiulio's run of bad luck continues and he retires again. But he's going to be back for the next round, and so will we after the break. Join us for all of the action from round 4. There would be a 9-week break in the championship between rounds 3 and 4, but that didn't mean there was nothing for the crews to do, with the all-wheel drive club putting on their own hill rally. Much the same as the regular AWDC events, but with more of a rally feel and a much longer weekend, and it would be a good test for the crews in the break between the championship rounds. The event attracted regular championship contenders, as well as a number of others, including the Defender Challenge, whose entrance certainly mixed it with the rest on the stages. again be a battle at the top between the regular contenders Chris Bird and Andy DiGiulio, but this time joined by Rick Mann, getting in on the fight for the top on day one. A puncher would eventually drop Mann down the results a little, meaning the fight was between Bird and DiGiulio. But Mann would still be fighting on the stages and would eventually pull back enough time to overhaul DiGiulio and move into second. DiGiulio had his own problems. Fuel issues on day 2 would mean the car wasn't driving how it should, so that meant that DiGiulio would have to settle for third, while Mann was happy to recover from that lost time and take second, even if he did manage to lose the spoiler on the way round the stages. But that means for Bird it would be the win. A great performance and a mirror of the results being achieved in the championship this season too. If you missed coverage of the Hill Rally, then you can catch up with it on our YouTube page. But for now, it's back to the action with round 4 of the championship. Round 4 of the championship heads south to Ilfracombe, and once again Chris Bird leads the crews away. But this time without main rival Andy DiGiulio here to fight with this weekend. On to the first couple of runs, and it would be the lead for Chris Bird. And after run 3, it would already be a good one, over a minute's advantage in that place. Rob Scone has a good start to the day, with second overall and second in the 8i class. He may have been around a minute back from the lead, but he also had a similar gap behind to third. And in that third place was Martin Hounsell, third overall and in the class. And the time's not far off Scone ahead, but he was going to have to look for a bit more pace in the rest of the day's stages. Fresh from his podium last time out, it would be a 4th place start for Tim Tennant. And just like the podium places above, there would be almost a minute's difference in the times between 3rd and 4th. Ian Parry was having a good start to the day, 5th overall and leading the way in Class 8. And the class lead was a significant one. A good start too for Tom Rimmel, taking the 7i class lead at this stage and lying in 6th overall, maintaining that would now be the task for the rest of the day. And following the theme, it would be a great start for Jim Dickinson, as he takes the Class 4 lead, lying in 7th overall at this stage. It wouldn't be the best of starts for Jason Elphick. Times on the first run were a little slower than he would have wanted, but they were getting better. 8th overall now and 2nd in the 7i class. Unfortunately for James and Philippa Tennant, they would make a good start to the event, but it would all come to an end when they crash out on run 3. The pair were a little sore, but themselves and the car would be okay to fight another day. Rounding out the top 10 at the end of run 3 was Richard Caddy, 2nd in Class 8 at this stage, and the times improving by over a minute each run out. In some of the classes outside the top 10, it would be second in Class 4 at this stage for Steve Llewellyn, just outside the top 10 in 11th overall. For Andy Kent, it would be a good start, taking the lead in the 6i class on the second run of the day and lying in 12th overall. Sadly for Oliver Arnold, it wasn't the best of starts. All was going well on the first of the day's runs, only for a maximum time to put an end to that on run 3. For now, it will be 13th overall. And it would be a bad start too for Jason Nicol. A maximum on run 1 after going off down a drop will put him down in 14th. But the times after that were looking good and hopeful of a move up the results. Paul Wilkins has a narrow lead of 40 seconds in Class 7 at the end of this morning's runs and was only 2 seconds behind Nicol ahead for that overall place. And second in that class was Lee Potter. 40 seconds behind the class leader wasn't too much to make up in the rest of the day's stages, as long as he could increase the pace just a little. And following on from a few others not having much luck, it would be 17th overall for Rob Ball. Run 2 would be where the problems came, spoiling some otherwise top 10 times. And for Justin Brooks, round 4 wasn't being kind. Only 1 complete run this morning, meaning 18th was as good as it gets. So with 3 runs complete, it's the lead for Chris Bird, and the top of the results separating by some significant margins already. Once again, the Safari Light crews were out, and it would be the early lead for Bruce Mallet. Things were quite close with just 19 seconds of a lead. The lead will be over Colin Roberts, second place at this stage, and the time's looking good. For Lee Newcomb, it would be third, the only Class 2 runner in the event this weekend, so a class result was looking certain. Andy Chapman sits just outside the podium places at this point in the day, but with around 2 minutes to the crews ahead. There wouldn't be much luck for Adrian Beer, 2 maximum times putting him down in 5th place, obviously not helped by the fire coming from the back of the car. On to the next few runs then, and there wouldn't be any change in the lead apart from the advantage. Chris Bird continues to lead the way, and the advantage now over 3 minutes. No change either in second. Rob Scone continues to hold on to that place and continues to improve the times, edging out his own advantage in that place to over 2 minutes. Martin Hounsell continues to hold 3rd place in the 8i class at this stage. The times were still looking good, but sadly not good enough to make any more advance on the top of the results. Ian Parry gains a place in these runs to move up into 4th, sitting just outside the podium places and comfortably leading the way in Class 8. Unfortunately, that move means a drop down a place for Tim Tennant, 5th place overall for now and remaining 4th in the 8i class. Tom Rimmel remains consistent in the overall results at this stage, remaining 6th, and of course no change to the class either as he maintains the 7i class lead. Oliver Arnold manages to work his way back up the results after the previous loop wasn't so kind. He moves up to 7th overall and 5th in the 8i class. Richard Caddy manages a few places gained, moving up the overall results into 8th, maintaining 2nd in Class 8, but that was in danger of being caught. Sadly for Jason Elphick, it would be a place lost. 9th place after run 6, but at least managing to stay within the top 10 at this stage. And jumping up to round out that top 10 was Jason Nicol. Still lying 3rd in Class 8 due to the morning's off-road excursions, but the times were still looking good into the late half of the day. With the earlier loss of Justin Brooks, it would be Andy Kent left to be the only one flying the flag for the 6i class. That was safe, providing he makes it to the finish. And the same could be said for Steve Llewellyn, the only Class 4 runner after the loss of Tony Rooney, so that was reasonably safe, although he does drop a place overall into 12th. The Class 7 battle had opened up a little more now. Lee Potter continues to lead the way there, the advantage now almost a minute and a half. And of course it would still be the advantage over Paul Wilkins, 2nd in that class battle and 14th overall. And sadly for Rob Ball, there would be no change to the overall all-class positions other than places gained through the loss of others. A maximum on run 6 would ensure he remains down in 15th overall. So with just a handful more runs to complete, it's no change at the top, but a handful of battles going on further down the leaderboard. On to the final part of the day then, and in the Safari Light Championship, it would be Adrian Beer who comes out with 4th. The maximum times earlier in the day sealing that result. However, it wouldn't be too big a gap to 3rd. Andy Chapman getting a maximum on the final run himself, and meaning 3rd place, but with only 21 seconds of an advantage over Beer. For Lee Newcomb, it will be 2nd. In no man's land a little, with the gaps either side of him too big to change at all in his final runs. But that means it's the win for Bruce Mallet. After missing out to Newcomb on the win last time out, the tables had turned, and it would be maximum points here this weekend. On to the main results and a look at those who finished the day. For Paul Wilkins, there wouldn't be any change, remaining 2nd in Class 7 to the finish and taking 14th overall. Unfortunately for Jason Elphick, a number of maximums would see the end of any chance of a result. And indeed it would be the same story for Oliver Arnold, maximums spelling the end of any chance of a good finish. For Steve Llewellyn, it would be a good end to the day, finishing just outside the top 10 in 11th and taking the Class 4 win. Andy Kent moves up to round out the top 10 and of course taking the 6i class win here at round 4. And for Lee Potter, it would be the Class 7 win. Some good times in the later half of the day, moving him up to 9th place too. Unfortunately for Tim Tennant, A couple of maximum times in the final runs will see him drop down the results and into 8th place overall. Richard Canny gains 1 place in these runs and takes 7th at the end of the day, as well as 3rd in Class 8. For Jason Nicol, the fight back from Run 1 disaster went as well as could be expected, taking 6th overall at the end of the event and managing 2nd in Class 8 in the process. Sadly, a bad end to the day means that Martin Housel drops down the overall results a little and ends the event with 5th, but still keeping that 3rd in class position safe. No problems this weekend for Tom Rimmel as he finishes just outside the podium places in 4th overall, a result which nets him the 7i class win. On to those podium places, and unfortunately last minute problems for Rob Scone means he loses his 2nd place that he held all morning, thankfully only dropping 1 place to take 3rd. But that means it's a fantastic result for Ian Parry, climbing the way up the leaderboard to take 2nd overall and the Class 8 win. And for Chris Bird, it would be win number 4 in as many rounds. There seemed to be no stopping him, and with Andy DiGiulio not coming to the rest of the season due to upgrades on the car, would there be anyone who could challenge Bird for the win? So at the end of round 4, here's a quick reminder of the overall results. The win, of course, means that Bird extends his championship lead. Bruce Tigwell and Tom Rimmel both in podium places, and Jason Nicol's recovery this round means he lies just outside those podium places for now. So that's all from us for this episode of Special Stage and the Britpart All-Wheel Drive Safari Championship. Join us next time for all of the action from rounds 5 and 6.